I mentioned I wanted to show how the preserve was, talking about both properties today. And I wanted to show how we have natural pollinators that have been here since I was a kid, this breed. And last year there were hardly any butterflies. This year there are many. I'm so trying to find some flies. The edge of the preserve is apparently also the edge of my internet. But here's some flower islands that I wanted to have chopped down now, but circumstances are what they are. Because we need to get these yards, these areas back together. It's just getting people around me serious. So you can see the butterflies. And there's more than one breed. I mean, this breed I've been seeing since I was a kid. There's another one of those neat little blue ones. Or the wind's going to blow, so we can't look at them. Ha 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 ha. So progress. You know, it's just these particular spots in the yard, not so much. My brother, whom I share the property with, decided he's going to try wheat. The thing about whenever he decides to grow something is he starts, and then he just stops. So I really wish he hadn't put the wheat on the edge of the preserve like that, because that's bad. I don't want to have to be pulling wheat out of the preserve forever and ever. We have our winter corn growing. I wasn't able to get 2 stalks started, but there's stalks to learn by. Problem is I don't get to be here. I have to go back up north. With the property up north, I have given a few updates, with the last update being the girl caring for my property taking photos of the land for me so I could see what's going on. And it being a good thing, because it turns out there was something she'd missed, that if the neighbors had been civil, called me with the number I had left that one still had, or maybe she didn't, she just got it back when I texted her the other day and they had thrown out my number, I don't know, then honeybees. It would have been handled sooner instead of the drama and angst and BS. The way that their attitudes have pretty much escalated the situation. And what I find really annoying about that is that people who do that, escalate the situation like that, they're like, oh, what a drama queen Katrina is. It's like, pretty sure you're the ones carrying on. Now, another thing about the preserve that I'm really glad about, goldenrod. Goldenrod, a native flower here in this, especially in this region. When I got here, I didn't see any, and it was upsetting. This place used to have a lot of goldenrod. Hello, Tom Tom. Tom Tom, my mother's cat. Hey, Tommy Tom Tom. And to see these here, even though they're not quite in the preserve area, I might just curve the preserve and just do a path so we can sit on a log. If somebody cuts them down, I'm going to be a little upset because we want them to pollinate out. Same thing with what we call itchweed. It's nice to see it too. So, good things. Tom Tom. Tom Tom's glad to see me. He never was much for an indoor cat when I got here. And he just kind of goes to my brother's room and then bothers me outside. My dad's stupid eggplant. Elephant ears putting out a flower, but this is not the preserve area. Although I'm glad to see the Florida ferns. So, I mean, you know, the more I encourage native plants in the entire yard, the better it'll get. It's a work in progress. But anyway, so with the house up north, and the drama the neighbors are causing, one thing I've noted and I was thinking about is that they are claiming they're mowing for me. They've been claiming they're mowing for me because that claim gives them rights to the property if they handle it right. But then I look at the photos that they clearly didn't want me to have. They were very upset when it came out that I was getting photos. And I look at the one fence where The one neighbor is not even mowing up to the end of her property line because she has assumed that this area is mine. That's not mowing for me. It's not mowing for you either. And then there's the other part that's mine. You can't mow it because the woman's tree or our tree or whatever, and all these huge roots are in the way. You can't mow it. You can only weed eat it. And so the girl taking care of my property has been weed eating that. And then there's my yard, the front part that my friend has been mowing. And there's the side of that where the lines are conjoining, where the problem neighbor wants her pie-shaped lot to look more square. And I have expressed multiple times I did not want her mowing that, and have had to hire her lawn guys to pay for the parts that they were already mowing because she claimed to own it. So that lawn guys were getting paid twice. So, you know, and then I think about how the problem neighbor tried to convince my friend Rebecca to not help me. What do you care, she says. She had apparently said, and I don't know what was really said, so much as Rebecca was really outraged. They would actually, on top of complaining about the property, then try to convince the last person that's helping me to not do anything for the property. And it's like, it's looking like if it weren't for my friend Rebecca, she might be the last person standing between my property and what the neighbors want to do to me. That's what it looks like. You know, we're trying not to assume here because we know what assuming does. It makes an ass of you and me. Just like how they look like asses on the parts that they're claiming is mine that I'm not mowing, that turns out it's theirs. And then the parts that they're claiming that they know I don't want them touching, that have been maintained because they want it to be theirs. Tom, I don't want you in my lap, sweetheart. So, you know, I'm thinking about that and how they're making this claim that's not true. And it's like, there's no way you're mowing my property for me. Because the parts that you would have to be mowing the entire front yard. They would have to be mowing the entire front yard and mowing parts that Rebecca's already maintaining for them to be mowing for me. So I was thinking about that, and I'm still waiting for my car to get out of the shop. Oh yeah, it was supposed to be ready today. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that to get on the road to go up there. But it's just something I was thinking about when it comes to the law. We're putting out feelers with some friends of friends to see if there's a lawyer we can get for that, because I feel that the hostile takeover law of when a neighbor can take over your property the way this neighbor has been doing, despite me pushing back, because law websites say that your choices are to offer them to buy that piece of property they've decided to take over, or to suck it up and let them have it. I feel that law needs to be changed. I feel that is a violation of my fundamental human rights, because I am paying for that property. I am paying a mortgage every month for that property, even if it's just an inch. And if they take it, I still have to pay that mortgage. It's a fundamental violation of my rights, because even if I were not paying a mortgage anymore, I would still have to pay taxes. And if she takes it, then somebody would have to pay for the rezoning. And you can guarantee the person that steals the land is not going to be the one willing to pay for the new survey. So regardless of which way you look at it, it's theft, and it's sanctioned theft. And I feel that I need the right attorney to push back against this law, and to have it changed and removed from the books. That people who are caring for their property, or even if they're not on the up and up, it's their property, they do not deserve to be robbed in this way by some angsty neighbor who is abusing their connections with political powers. You know, there needs to be something done. There really does. I I don't have the connections to get it done. But I need somebody willing to take on the law. I need somebody willing to push back against the government to have a law changed. I have indeed reached out to the Institute for Justice. No response yet. I don't think I'm going to get one. Because it's considered a civil matter. But when you stop and consider how in this civil matter, the law, the actual law, is being used to allow a thief to get away with it in this civil matter, it's no longer a civil matter. It's a legislative matter in which the legislature needs to be examined and either thrown out or changed. And things need to be written in such a way that the homeowner is protected. Because currently I'm completely unprotected. And I stop and consider how these people treat me like I'm an idiot. And when I start quoting actual law, they're like, oh, she knows her rights. She knows the law. Yeah, you are why I am learning the law and learning my rights. I was content to be left alone. I was content to work with them when they bothered to talk to me. I'm not content to be bullied and be stolen from. So, I mean, that's what it boils down to, is this situation has been exploded by petty attitudes, and there is this law that needs changing. It's just getting the right people. I don't think I'm going to find anybody local willing to stand up with me. There's too many handshaking and elbow rubbing. I need somebody, an Illinois attorney from outside. But at least the preserve here is looking pretty good, and I am concerned because the people I live with are not serious about yard work. They're not serious. I don't have time, I get told, while they sit around playing games on their phones. So I'm concerned that my imminent departure for a long period of time, which is going to happen every year, is going to have me come back to an even bigger mess that I cannot do by myself. I really, really need to be able to hire people who understand what I'm doing, not the kind, because the last person I hired kept talking about landscaping this and tearing down that, and I kept trying to explain that's not how a preserve works, and they weren't listening because they had so much training, and it's like, no, that's not how this works. You do enough to maintain, and you let the rest be nature. So you basically make it so you can get in there to handle something, but you don't tear it down. You're not being one with nature and handling things by tearing nature down. It's not how it works. So I need to be able to hire, but that takes money that we don't have at the moment because we're strapped, and the rest from the problem up north is not helping. Let's face it, I need help. I need financial help, and more importantly, I need a strong warrior. Where I come from with my people, we fought in the Indian Wars or whatever, and this war and that war. And nowadays, the modern warrior is a warrior who goes to court. And many times that's how you earn your feathers. You're willing to go to court. And I need a strong warrior. I don't need some weak pansy who's like, well, let's make a deal. I've been making deals. It didn't work. Okay. I went the traditional route, and none of the treaties worked. So it's time to push back and stand firm and say, no, this is the line. They've crossed it. Put them back behind their line. They need to go back where they belong. So I need a strong warrior, I'm saying, for like the second time in 24 hours. But let me give you a last shot of the preserve. Oh, I really, really, really need to get my hand on some pallets so I can make a makeshift path to go back there in, and so I can handle things back there. The longer we wait to do that, the less I'm going to be able to maintain in the heart of the preserve. Oh, look at that. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Oh. I also want to put a bat box over there because there's not enough bats here to maintain the mosquitoes anymore. and maybe some owl nests over there to put that back too, even though that puts the cats' lives at risk. This is a preserve. Besides my cats, I try to keep them indoors as much as I can. Anyway, that's it. Well, let's get a shot of Tom Tom coming out of the forest. Tommy Tom Tom! Come here, Tom Tom! He's going to ignore me. He's mad because I didn't want to cuddle him. That is a hawk, and it is hunting. All right, I'm going to make sure none of the cats have snuck out. That hawk is hunting Tom Tom. And I'm going to collect the Tom Tom. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.